Hey, what's up guys, it's me. So today I got an Ubers match against B2J 1 through 5 or BJ. So yeah, now today I wanted to use the new the new Genesect that came out. The shift gear, extreme speed type thing. Genesect that just came out. Honestly, I really don't see this thing being used whatsoever. I tried to use shift gear and then 3 attacks. I mean, it didn't really work out too incredibly awesome. Just because Genesect works incredibly well as a U-turner, Scarfer in Uber. So, really, this event really doesn't really give it too much, except for maybe extreme speed on a banded set or something. I don't know. But you saw the team preview. I'm using Sand. He's using Rain. I love Sand, so I wanted to use it. So, yep, anyway, I'm leading off with Touch It because I expected maybe the Kyogre lead, and Kyogre usually can't do a whole hell of a lot to a Ferrothorn, and I could Thunder Wave it and, you know, do stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I set up a layer of Spikes, and then he sets up a layer of Toxic Spikes. I'm not really too worried about it because my Rapid Spinner is Excadrill, and he can't be Toxic and awesomeness. So, now this is the Shift Gear Genesect. It is Shift Gear, Iron Head, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam. Now, the thing that I think about this is just, it's not that great because you're going to lose out on a coverage move one way or another if you run, you want to run Ice Beam. You want to definitely run Ice Beam for all the dragons, of course, but you run Flamethrower, you get to hit your steals, but then you don't have anything to hit like water types like Kyogre or anything like that. And you run Thunderbolt, then you don't really have anything to hit like Ferrothorn and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a not really too useful in my opinion. I don't know. But again, Ferrothorn comes in to wall the Kyogre, and I go for the Thunder Wave on the switch, and it turns out he has an unnerved Mewtwo, so I'm guessing he's trying out some new set as well. So if you didn't know, Mewtwo got Hurricane in his latest event. He also released his Unnerve ability. Unnerve is pretty much completely useless, but whatever. Not many Pokemon that Mewtwo is going to be going up against is going to be using a berry, except maybe like a Lumberry on Rayquaza, but then Mewtwo just goes straight out and like one-shots it with Ice Beam anyway. I don't fucking know, but anyway, yeah, that doesn't really matter. So he goes for Aura Sphere, and that does a fuck ton to my max specialty defensive Ferrothorn, so I'm definitely thinking that he's probably Specs. So I can just go into my Ecto Dragon. Fucking Giratina is just awesome, and I know he's probably going to switch because, like I said, I think he Specs. So I'm just going to Dragon Tail him out and goes into his Kyogre. Now, the way he was playing this Kyogre, it kind of seems like it's Scarfed. So I don't really think I need to fear too much from this thing because, I mean, Giratina is a fucking monster, and he can take pretty much any hit, and that damage just kind of definitely tells me that he is definitely a Scarfed Kyogre. Either that or not Specs. I mean, that's really what I'm thinking. So, not a Specs Kyogre. So that's the thing. And now I go for the rest because just in case he did turn out to be some Specs Kyogre or some insanely powerful Kyogre and the Ice Beam did more. But, yeah, so I am, of course, the Rest, Sleep, Talk, Will-O-Wisp, Dragon Tail, powerful freaking Giratina set that, like, fucks over everything, and I pulled a Will-O-Wisp on this, which is really cool, because that's gonna break the Lugia's multi-scale, and he's not gonna be able to keep that. And, turns out he goes for Aeroblast, and he has Life Orb. So, offensive Lugia? Alright, sure, why not? I Dragon Tail him out, and he goes into his Arceus Ghost, and Arceus Ghost is a fucking threat and from hell. Oh my god, this thing, I think I've said it before, Arceus Ghost is one of the most terrifying Pokemon to go up against, but I do pretty well here. I go for the Dragon Tail, expecting him to just go for a Calm Mind / Swords Dance or whatever he wants to go for. and score a critical hit on that, so that was pretty damn good. And I drag in his Mewtwo, and I don't really want to take a Specs Ice Beam from a Mewtwo because that's fucking powerful. And turns out, though, he just goes for the Hurricane. So, okay, cool. Hurricane Mewtwo, why not? That's a thing. So that goes down, and Genesect really didn't do jack shit this match, and I get to go into Hungry Hippo, and I'm really liking Hippowdon lately. I really am. Like, I know T-Tar, it's a really good Pokemon and all that good stuff, and it has a great place in Ubers and OU and stuff, but I'm really liking Hippowdon for it's really bulky, and it gets good like phasing, and it gets good recovery and stuff like that. I'm really liking Hippowdon lately. But yeah, so I set up my rocks while he missed a Hurricane, and then he just brings in his Fortress to sack it, so we can get a nice free switch into his Kyogre, and he can go for Drizzle and get the rain back up, so that's good for him. So yeah. Now, I go into Steve because Steve can do things to a Kyogre, and Kyogre can do Kyogre things, like go for Thunder Wave, but he has Toxic Spikes, so that's not going to affect me, and then I can smack him in the face with a Thunder, and that thing is dead, so it turns out that wasn't a Scarfed Palkia after all, so I don't know what the hell, or Scarfed Kyogre after all, so I don't know what the hell that was, but I don't know, maybe it was Resto Chesto. That is my favorite set after all, but I don't know. Anyway, now in comes this fucking Arceus Ghost. I cannot risk switching out and setting up on, and letting him set up on me, so I'm just gonna go straight for the Spatial Ren, Lustrous Orb Palkia, fucking power, and high critical hit ratio. The freaking Spatial Ren scores that crit and takes it out. I do not feel bad about that because, I mean, it's Spatial Ren, it does have a high critical hit ratio, so it's gonna fucking happen. So that is not bad. So now in comes the the Kyurem. I'm thinking that it's probably Scarfed because of, you know, stuff, and now that his Kyogre is gone, I can just safely go into my Hungry Hippo, and I can just sack it to this Draco Meteor, and again, I'm thinking that this thing is Scarfed, so I'm thinking it's going to be locked into the -2 Draco Meteor, which means that I can have a nice safe switch into Excadrill, and Excadrill should be able to set up a Swords Dance and just finish out this game. So I go for the Swords Dance, and my sand is up, and the freaking road is paved, but then he goes for Focus Blast and misses. So if he did hit that, I don't know, I didn't do the calc, I don't know if it would have killed or not. I don't know, but he was at -2. I don't know why he was running, maybe Expert Belt or something like that, but yeah, that was interesting, but it's just an Excadrill sweep, because Excadrill is power. Because, yeah, I don't really know if you can classify it as a sweep, though. I mean, it's just more or less just Excadrill just mopping up the loose ends right here. So, if he did hit it and did take out my Excadrill, I still did have the Palkia. The Palkia could have outsped the Kyurem White, that thing, and depending on his speed investment in his Lugia, I could have outsped that as well, but then again, his Lugia couldn't have really done a whole hell of a lot to my Ferrothorn, and I could have, like, Leech Seeded it, and I don't know. Doesn't matter, that's what happened, so that's pretty good. The question of the day was, I think, what was your ideal dream type combination? Honestly, my dream type combinations have already happened. Dark and Dragon, Dark and Steel, Ghost and Steel. I mean, these are it's like perfect type combinations in my opinion, and the only one I can think of that I really want is Normal and Ghost. I just think that would be an awesome type combination, and it would be only weak to Dark, I believe. I believe it would only be weak to Dark, and I just think that would be an awesome combination. So, 6th Gen, make it happen. Alright, so anyway, that was it for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you all, and deuces.